We're looking at demonstrative adjectives at the top of page 108. Do you know what your demonstrative adjectives are in English? They are this and these, and that and those. We have two groups of two adjectives each. If you'll look in the yellow box, you will notice that in Español we have three groups with four versions each. This and these would be este, esta, estos, estas. Why are there four? Remember that these are adjectives, and therefore they need to agree with the noun they modify in both gender, feminine and masculine, and number, singular and plural. So where in English we have two, in Spanish we have four. For that and those, we have ese, esa, esos, and esas. Again, masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural. One thing to notice: the masculine singular form does not end in O. It ends in an E. Este, esta, estos, estas. Ese, esa, esos, esas. Now Spanish has a third group, and it is at the bottom of the yellow box. It's another set of that and those. It's a set of that and those when we talk about things being far away. I'm going to put near above this set, far above that set. In Español, they are aquel, aquella, aquellos, aquellas. I'm going to set this blue marker right here. I'm going to set the black marker right here, and I'm going to set the red marker right here. This marker, which is within my reach, I would use este, esta, estos, o estas as needed. Let's call this a pluma. Which one would I use? Esta pluma es roja. Esta pluma es roja. Now, that marker, just out of my reach, is still relatively near. What would I use? Again, we're using the word pluma. So I would say, esa pluma es negra. Now that marker way over there is blue. It is far from where I'm standing. I would use aquella. Aquella pluma es azul. Now here we have a distance of what, 7 feet maybe? We use these relative to what we're talking about. I could talk about this building, este edificio. I could look across the way here, looking out the window, and say, ese edificio, that building across the street. Or I can look even further and look at the far end of campus and I say, aquel edificio. We use these relative to what we're talking about. You may be going shopping and you say, este suéter es bonito. This sweater that I'm holding is very pretty. Look over at the next rack and say, aquel suéter me gusta. I like that sweater. And then the person you're with says, but that one on the other side of the display room is even prettier. Aquel suéter, further away. So it can mean a matter of just feet. It can be a matter of just yards. It can be miles. This city, that city nearby, that city way down the highway. Esta ciudad, esa ciudad, aquella ciudad. Now remember, the demonstrative adjectives must agree with the noun they modify. You can look at activities A and B on page 109 to review this. Now, taking this a step further, demonstrative adjectives and demonstrative pronouns actually share the same form. Now, what's the difference? A demonstrative adjective accompanies a noun. Este libro es nuevo. This book is new. We have a noun and we have a demonstrative adjective that modifies the noun. But what if I want to say this one is new? Instead of using an adjective followed by a noun, I can use a demonstrative pronoun. Now, I just stated that demonstrative adjectives and demonstrative pronouns share the same spelling. Many people like to differentiate between adjectives and pronouns by adding accents to the stressed vowel. They are still pronounced exactly the same, but by putting an accent, you can differentiate. The accent is not absolutely necessary. It's the placement of the word. If I say, este libro es nuevo, I'm saying this book is new, and I'm using a demonstrative adjective. If I simply remove libro and say, este es nuevo, I'm saying this one is new. And to further differentiate, I like to put an accent. And this tells me for sure this is a demonstrative pronoun. It has taken the place of this book. And we're saying this one is new. Now, the next thing we want to look at are idiomatic expressions with the verb tener, which we find on page 111.